Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. I am James Phoenix. With me is Chris the Mole.
Hello.
And we are here today to talk about the Comedy Central roast of Bruce Willis, the most recent in the long-running series of Comedy Central roasts.
Yep.
This aired back on July 29th, and at least over here, I can't remember if it aired at the same time for you or not.
I can't remember, but it aired. Because I remember telling you when once it aired. I think it aired here like a day or two after yours, or a day before it. Or
Right. Okay. The roast master was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who of course acted with Bruce Willis in the movie. What was that movie?
Looper or something.
Yeah, Looper. Thank you. Roasters included Sybil Shepherd, Edward Norton, Nikki Glazer, Lil Rel Howery, Don Morera, Kevin Pollak, Dennis Rodman, Martha Stewart, the Roastmaster General Jeffrey Ross.
Are you doing what I think you're doing?
What?
He is. You said the list. It includes. I mean, list everyone. Includes is normally a couple of names, not read a list.
Okay.
But I was like, wait, are you doing that? But you were. And of course, obviously, there was famous people in the audience.
Yep. This is the 16th total roast in this series of Comedy Central roasts that they've done.
Yep. Oh, I believe, isn't the other roasts better?
Some of them.
The one, I believe, people said, most people agree that the Fryer roasts are better than the Comedy Central roasts.
Well, the Fryer roasts were around first. The Comedy Central ones were based on that, so it makes sense the Fryer ones would be better.
No, they're also better because they had better class with how they're doing it. They're not doing easy targets. Like this one, some of them, like the last one or the one before that, where they literally brought on that woman just because, they want to mock her political views.
Ah.
While unironically talking about the person she likes being a dictator while telling people what they can and can't vote for. What is that word? It begins with a H. I believe it's hypocrite. And Jim's now ignoring it.
No. It happened. I'm not saying it didn't.
No, I meant you ignored it because you just sat there quiet, not wanting to say a word. Just to make it more awkward. It's true. You can't. You literally can't talk about someone being a dictator, then single-handedly tell people who they can and can't vote for, almost like you're dictating. If you do that, you're a piece of shit and a hypocrite. Because they literally only brought her on there just to make the whole roast about her more than it was the actual guest. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with them?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised both that they invited her and that she agreed to show up.
She agreed to show up because, like she even said on interviews afterwards, she knew they were going to do that, but hey, she got to go on there and show her book. So the joke's on her. She knew what she was doing, and she got to plug her book and got some sales out of it. So fuck them.
Fair enough.
Yep. And yeah, this one was an interesting roast.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, it was Bruce Willis, so it's a bigger name.
It is, which is good.
The jokes, while they were some of the similar jokes, they weren't as similar as they've been in past roasts where everyone's doing the exact same gay joke, minus one word or two. And you're like, no, at least this one, they mixed up the style of how they were doing some of the jokes and they had more variety and it was pretty fun. Because it's always better when you have a variety.
Sure.
Okay, so are you doing something else at this point?
No.
Okay, there's just long pauses at times, so you're just staring at the screen and not saying anything.
No, sorry.
Have you watched the roast?
Yeah. I watched it back on the night it aired. Technically, it was the replay on the night it aired, but it was still the night it aired.
As long as you watched it, it doesn't matter when.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, and they had a good amount of guests and stuff. I was surprised they had Dennis Rodman on there because you don't really know him as doing these. I mean, he's famous, but he's not. Obviously, he was huge in the 90s. He was in the NWO for God's sake. But nowadays, you don't really see him just show up on shows like this. And when he did, he's more laid back now than he was in the 90s when he was ironically more suited for these styles of roasts. When he had like the big tall hat and stuff. Like, do you remember him in the NWO and he had the tall hat and a cigar and stuff? It was fucking awesome.
Not really, but okay.
Oh, yeah, you didn't watch WCW, did you?
No, not really. Fair enough.
Yeah, he was awesome in that. And yeah, you got a variety of people. Like, obviously, Sybil Shepherd started in a show with Bruce Willis, which was cool.
Yep.
And that show is a classic. Yeah, just not saying anything.
I'm saying that it was a really enjoyable roast. I mean, I certainly liked it. I will say that, as it normally happens with these roasts, there were a couple of people that I didn't really know that much about. I mean, I never really heard of Dom Marrero or Lil Rel Howery, but they were very funny, and I'll give them that. Kevin Pollak came up and he did his patented Christopher Walken impression, which is kind of why he shows up to things. And I said Martha Stewart was funny. Dennis Rodman was funny. Jeff Ross was what he always is. You take it or leave it.
I believe the word you're looking for is not funny.
I think he's funny sometimes. Edward Norton did a good job. Like I said, I haven't really seen him in anything except that Hulk movie, so I don't really know that much about Edward Norton. But he was funny. I'll give him that.
Did you not watch Fight Club?
I did not watch Fight Club.
Fair enough. But yeah, he did the best roast, I think. Edward Norton did the best roast, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Unlike all the other ones, it was actually more intelligent than a lot of roasts.
Yeah, there was.
It had an element of class to it. It was insulting himself and also Bruce Willis at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't go for the cheap jokes like a lot of them do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like when Jeffrey Ross goes up there, all of his jokes will be something like, oh, I remember, insert the name of the person I'm roasting, back when they did, insert me thing, show that they did, and that's why they're gay. And you're like, oh, fuck off. You're telling the exact same jokes, just changing out 2 words and like every other roast. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And like some of the comedians, when they go up there, just aren't funny on these. But this panel was actually a really good star-studded panel. It was good, and we had Demi Moore come out as a surprise one, which was great.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was very enjoyable.
So, but yeah, it was just a great panel, and it was overall a great showing. And we got to see, obviously, they made fun of Bruce Willis's acting. They made fun of the fact he lost his wife to Ashton Kutcher.
Yep.
And various other stuff like that, which is cool. And while also they gave props to some of the stuff he did, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, who's your favorite?
Like I said, it's been a while since I watched it. I'm trying to remember. They were all pretty funny. The one I really liked, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. Is the problem? I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. I want to say it was Nikki Glaser, but I'm not positive. But I remember one of them went up there and started making an assortment of Willis jokes, comparing to other people. Like I was talking about, Bruce Willis, and then she went to like Lil Ray Howery. It's like, oh, here's Bruce. What you talking about, Willis? And then did another one. It was another Willis joke against somebody else. I thought that was really funny. I can't remember exactly which one of them did that, but I remember it was very funny. But they all did a good job. It was a good balance of comedy throughout. There was nobody that was particularly bad or anything. It was a good along the row, of comedy.
Yep.
And it did do a much better audience. I will say it did do better. It's got a 1.76 on the rating as opposed to a 1.3 from the last roast, so it did better than that.
Yep. I will say, yeah, I didn't like Dom because I had to look at his name, Dom Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, his normal Jeffrey Ross isn't funny.
Mm.
Besides those two, though, I like the others.
Like the drama was okay. I mean, everybody seemed to know who he was making good jokes at him, but I didn't really know.
I know who he is because I've seen him he's been in lots of stuff over the years.
Okay, I don't really know him.
That's fair, but yeah, the other guy, is it Kevin Pollock, the one who did the Christopher Walken impersonation?
Kevin Pollock. Yep.
Kind of funny, but all the Christopher Walken impressions were done in the 90s. Can we move on? It's 2018. This isn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
As
Unfortunately,
recent movies have shown, just having Christopher Walken speak isn't funny anymore.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what he's got. It's that and his Shatner impression. That's kind of what brought him to the party. What's been sustaining his career. So
that doesn't matter. People evolve. It's like what brought example, because I know you watch the wrestling. What brought Triple H to the table was being the posh guy that came out and bowed and stuff, but he evolved.
That's true.
Or don't book him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you could get like a young comic from Saturday Night Live who's probably got more impressions that are more relevant to today's world.
Yeah.
It's just a slight nitpick. I'm sick of hearing Christopher Walken impressions all the time. In 2018, it's been done to death.
I can see that. I can agree with that. It has been done quite a bit.
But yeah, like I said, it was an enjoyable roast. It's not the worst roast that they've ever had, obviously. I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely one of them.
It was good. I don't know if I'd call it the best, but it was good.
I'll probably put it a bit above most of the ones I've seen.
Okay.
Like I saw the roast. Obviously, I saw the roast of Trump, the roast of what the hell, Harry Osborn, James Franco.
Yep.
I saw the roast of Justin Bieber. I saw the one from the guy who was in Fuller House.
Yep.
I saw the one with the guy who has a giant clock around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a load of them. They had them all on Amazon and stuff a while back, and I watched them all. I'm just like, some of them were really funny. Some of them just weren't that funny.
Yeah, it's varied depending on the guest.
Justin Bieber and James Franco were boring. James Franco was more so because they had no jokes for him.
Yeah.
The guy from Fuller House wasn't that funny. All the jokes consisted of, ha ha, we're going to justify paedophilia.
Yeah, they did do a lot of that.
And it was shit. And I'm like, okay. The Donald Trump one was kind of funny, but Seth MacFarlane kind of ruins most stuff he was the host of.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Charlie Sheen one was good.
Yep.
David Hasselhoff was good.
That was good.
And so was Shatner.
Yep, Shatner was very good. I like the earlier ones, like the Dennis Leary and the Jeff Foxworthy too. They were pretty good also.
Yeah. Which I'll put this one pretty high on the list just because it's Bruce fucking Willis.
It is, and that's good.
And you had Jason Gordon Levitt as the guy under, like, what do you call it, like the host guy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You had Edward Norton deliver a high-class roast, which instantly makes it more intelligent than all the other ones, and I like that.
Yep.
I was like, it's a good mix of everyone. Like, you had sports stars like Dennis Rodman. You had a cook of Martha Stewart. I'm sure she's done other stuff like tax fraud. You also have all the other, you got a good mix. I'm like, okay, and there was no one up there really that you think doesn't belong here. Like, even the ones I thought weren't funny, like Jeffrey Ross, okay, he belongs there because he always does these, and I think it's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even the other guy I didn't like, he's been in the business for so long, I can see why people respect him. And he's probably got a fan base, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it.
The real question will be, where do you go from here?
That's a good question, because I was surprised they pulled out Bruce Willis, because that was a really good idea. But when they started getting things like doing James Franco and Justin Bieber, I thought they were really kind of running to the bottom of the barrel on people to roast. But then they got Bruce Willis, and I'm like, oh, maybe they still got some ideas.
I'm going to make the case Justin Bieber was a great choice. Because he was a huge star, great with the younger people to get them to pay attention to roasts. Everyone likes to insult Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can enjoy that. His fans, his non-fans, everyone. It's a great target. The issue with it was the same, haha, he's a lesbian, he looks like a lesbian, or haha, he's gay, for an hour and a half in like 2017, when it's not okay to make those gay jokes constantly like that. And it's like, no, move on. And I'm not saying you have to be politically correct, but at least make them varied, like one of them, and then like one another type of joke with them funny.
Yeah, I think that's the issue when you bring in somebody young like Bieber. It's they're willing to be made fun of, but there's a limited number of things to make fun of them for because they're so young and have only done a certain number of things. I think that's why it's better when you get in somebody like a Bruce Willis or a David Hasselhoff who have been around a lot and done a lot of things that you have an option to make fun of.
Oh, I'll agree. But I will make the case David Hasselhoff is a once in a lifetime one with Shatner. I'd make the case, unlike Bruce Willis, they did like singing careers way more than him, unironically, and have been in some really terrible stuff. Like really, like that. You know what I mean? Like that, they've got their hand in everything, so they're like easier to roast.
Yeah.
But Bruce Willis obviously is a bigger star. With Justin Bieber, ironically, they spent more time making the lesbian or gay jokes than they did music jokes.
Yeah.
Insult his music. That's what people want to hear you insult.
Yeah.
Unless that was his no-go.
Yeah.
No, because apparently before they go on there, they're allowed to give a list of stuff they don't want as topics for the roast, and that's allowed. Like, to his credit, Donald Trump, the only one he said you're not allowed to make a joke of was to imply he has less money than he has, or he claims to have. That was the only one, because he's like, that's part of his brand. However, you can insult his wife, his kids, his hair, his looks, everything else, just don't do that. And I'm like, that's a pretty low one not to do. That's cool.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, you can. That's cool, and it's obviously there's a lot of them where you get a sense they didn't tell him not to go anywhere. But it's also possible with Justin Bieber that don't insult my music because he's still trying to make it as a musician, and that would hurt the shit out of him.
Which is understandable. Yeah,
you could make the case of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bruce Willis one, it's pretty good. People should check it out. I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I agree. I give it a strong 85, 90. It's a good roast. It's enjoyable. There's good guests. It's a nice rounded thing. Is it the best roast they've done? No. So that's why 85 I think is fair because I think there's others that have been more of a 90 that deserve it. But it's an enjoyable roast. It's certainly better than some of the bad ones they've done.
Yep.
I also throw out 2 cents here. I think especially given that he's coming back to our iconic role and everything else, and given that there's not a lot, given that he has done so many different things, I think they should roast Patrick Stewart.
Maybe, but I feel like he's too highbrow. Obviously, he does do a load of lowbrow stuff, but he's not known for like singing and being in like shitty B movies the way Hasselhoff and people are.
That's true.
But I could see why people would want to see him roasted.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else they haven't roasted that they could roast.
Nathan Fillion.
That would actually be good. That actually wouldn't be bad. I'd go for that.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Yes.
I'd say good. Arnold, but I don't know if he's too big, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But to be fair, they're all in those. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone would be too big in the 90s. Now they're lowered down, like Bruce Willis, that they could be included in this because if they got Bruce Willis, they can get them.
Yeah, I can certainly see either of them being roasted, and I get to this, and it's interesting because you have to believe that if either of them was getting roasted, the other one would be at least considered for Roastmaster.
Yep. Well, if I was doing Sylvester Stallone, I'd want Dolph Lundgren as Roastmaster.
That'd be good.
He can talk.
Can he?
Yeah, he's been in loads of movie stuff where he's talked. He was in Arrow and stuff. He was Punisher.
Wasn't he He-Man?
Yes. Bear in mind, I'm not saying he's been in good stuff. I'm just saying he could talk in them. There's a difference.
Then that's fair.
He's not just. I mean, he's not just limited to if he dies, he dies. Well, I know for a fact if he was Roastmaster, he'd have to say that.
Yeah.
And I told everyone up here, if they make bad jokes, if it dies, it dies.
There you go.
It would work. Yeah, the roast of Dolph Lundgren would be amazing.
That'd be good too. Yeah, I can see it.
I also wouldn't mind some other big name ones, like Britney Spears for musicians, just because I feel like there's a lot of stuff to do with her. And I feel like, yes, all the jokes were done back when she had a breakdown, but now enough time's passed that they're funny again.
Yeah, because you get the whole the height of her career, the big fall, the whole shaving her head thing, all the big stuff there. Plus, the good thing about roasting Britney Spears is you get an added tangent because you get Britney Spears up there. You can also tie in jokes about her sister getting her Nickelodeon show canceled because she got knocked up.
Maybe. I say maybe because I don't know if that would be a big enough deal for the roasts.
Yeah.
Well, I did like that Nickelodeon show with her sister.
That was a good show. It was a shame it got canceled, but.
Oh my god, I just thought of one.
Okay.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I don't know if he's had one or not, but I'd like to see it.
I would too, and Sharon would roast master the shit out of that.
Yeah. Like, before we go, I will say, one thing I was disappointed with roast-wise, obviously I'm wearing a wrestling t-shirt, but WWE Network did say they were going to do a roast show at one point. In comments is one thing they were considering. I wish they would. Like, I'd love to see professional wrestlers be able to just roast each other on the network.
That would be enjoyable.
Like, I feel like the roast of The Rock or the roast of John Cena or something like that, as much as The Rock is an A-lister, obviously, I'm just using those, or Hulk Hogan or something, I feel like it's more important if it's coming from the wrestlers themselves. Like, they're going to throw in more in-jokes to the business and it'll be more fun.
Yeah.
And they'll probably get celebrities from outside, too.
Yeah, the only thing is, I wouldn't roast Hulk Hogan, if only because I feel like you did. The no-go is going to be the racism, and everybody watching it is just going to be like, it's going to be that awkward elephant in the room. Particularly if WWE is making it.
Yep.
But that'd certainly be enjoyable now. I mean, roast somebody like Ric Flair or something. That'd be great. I would say that a roast of Vince is probably inevitable too, but I don't know if that's something like if he would feel like, no, it's too easy, we're gonna save that or something.
Yeah, the roast of Vince would be funny. I feel like most will be XFL jokes, but
probably. Well, it's not true. You got XFL jokes. You got tore both my quads getting in the ring jokes. You've got that clip of him dancing like an idiot that they like to show.
I'm gonna make the case there probably won't be XFL jokes if it didn't now.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to relaunch it. That's true.
Yeah, so they don't want to remind people how shit it was. But yeah, I'd like to see that. But who would you like to see as a host? Who would you like to see roasted next as a suggestion? Leave a comment below.
Yeah, certainly. And like I said, you can check out these roasts. They do release them on DVD, so they're available on Comedy Central's website for the most part, and other places where DVDs are sold. And also, a lot of them are on demand if you have cable and satellite.
Yep, and you can also, instead of just DVD stuff, you can also buy them digitally. People can do that nowadays. You can buy them from iTunes and Amazon.
Oh, okay. Nothing wrong there. That's cool.
Yes, at least in the UK, sometimes they'll be on there and they won't be on DVD.
Interesting.
I don't even think they sell DVDs at the roast to me, but they'll sell like, oh, it just aired. Here it is on Amazon for £2, and you can watch it whenever you want, which is cool.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, they got some cool stuff on there. Like, I'm tempted to buy. They've got Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show on there, all 3 seasons.
Nice.
I think it's free. And they had the first season of Weird Science, the TV show. I
fun.
loved those. I don't know if you remember those two. I fucking loved those shows. I
never watched them, but I remember them existing.
I watched the shit out of those shows, and the only reason I haven't bought them is I looked on there and they're like £40 for season 1. I'm like, I'm paying £40 for a TV show that came out in the 90s for 1 season when I can go and buy like 6 seasons of a show in 2018 for like £30. So like to put in perspective, I can get Arrow season 1 to 6 for like £30-40 in a box set. That's how much 1 season of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is. And I'm like, no, it's not worth that money. It's just not worth that money. As great as that show was.
Yeah.
And stay tuned on Friday on this channel for the roast of James Phoenix.
Ha, no.
And I am your host, Chriz, aka The Mole.
No.
Peace.
No.
The roast of James Phoenix.
No. 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 No.
Yep, with the guy in charge of Trivial Pursuit as Roastmaster General. Stay tuned for that.
No. No. No.
Bye. You're not hanging up.
Just no.
Why aren't you hanging up?
It's not hanging that way, no. But do stay tuned, folks. We have a lot of great reviews coming up. We're gonna be taking a look coming up at the Disaster Artist next weekend. So join us for that. And on Friday, we will, however, we will not be roasting me. We will be taking an origin look at the first episode of the new Matt Groening Netflix show, Disenchantment. So join us for that.
Well, according to you, you might not be around on Friday to do that because you might be going over to your friend's house, and Pew's going to be in that because she's watched that episode. So we might put it on the Saturday if you're busy on the Friday.
Okay, yeah. One day we'll be doing Disenchantment either way.
Either Friday or Saturday, it's coming.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Enchantment?
Disenchantment.
James Phoenix.
What?
Roaster James Phoenix.
No.